Hello and welcome to Asking for a Friend, a podcast, engaging questions young adults have about following Jesus. And in this era of asking for a friend this season, specifically more relationship style questions.
Yeah. Nathan and I are going to be answering some of your questions that you've sent in, hopefully leading you to the Lord, first of all, and laughing a little as we go, maybe.
I hope so.
Okay, you ready?
Let's go.
How would you measure one's readiness to pursue dating?
How would you measure one's readiness?
Readiness to pursue dating.
Okay, so we're kind of different in some of this because, did you ever have a moment where you're like, all right, I'm ready to date. Let's date.
No, I was always dating.
Yeah,
For the most part.
So, and I wasn't necessarily dating a lot of people or anyone really. So how did you know whether you were ready and or not ready to, if you started dating, you're like, whoa, what am I doing?
I mean, time and time again, the Lord was so gracious to me in speaking to my heart about, this is not right, Rebecca. This is right. Keep moving in this direction, whatever, and making decisions as I go. I mean, that's just living, right? We do things, we talk to the Lord, and then we sometimes have to change our path a little.
Right.
And so I would say, I can think of times where it was like, okay, this needs to end, or so that this can begin, or whatever it was. I don't know if that's making sense, but I don't necessarily know that I was like, okay, I'm ready. It just kind of happened naturally, and then it didn't.
Okay, yeah. Well, and some of that too is maybe the age at which you started dating.
Right.
You're probably not emotionally aware,
right.
or I don't know what the term is, but if you're dating in high school,
yeah,
there's some things that you're just lacking in awareness about. Is that fair?
Yeah, probably, for sure.
So it's very mature to even be asking this question,
yes,
I guess,
I
to
agree.
begin with.
I really respect this question.
Yeah. So to start with, I don't want to assume this goes without saying, but sometimes we know God has told us chill. Sometimes we know God has told us there are other things I want to work with you in, or there are other things that I have for you right now, and dating is not one of those things. So if God has told you that, unless he's told you differently, then I would say don't focus on dating. Yeah. Don't pursue dating relationships.
Right.
Another way, how do you measure someone's readiness? You got another one?
Seek counsel.
Yeah.
Ask your friends, ask the people that know you really well, whether that be a mentor or, a family member that you really trust, a bestie, whoever it might be. Yeah. Proverbs 11:14 says, where there is no counsel, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. And so, first of all, do you have people like that around you? I would say.
You always talk about my people, your people, use that term a lot.
Yeah.
Do you have, I think the multitude is probably smaller than it is larger.
Yes.
But do you have, fellas, do you have some awesome men of God in your life that you can go to seek counsel, who know you, not just externally, but know your heart, know as best they can your motives? Ladies, do you have a group of women in your life that know you, know your heart, that you can go to and seek counsel about hey, do you guys think I'm in a good spot to be pursuing a dating relationship right now? And or I did this before I mustered up the courage to ask you on a date. I would say in that same group of people, hey, I'm thinking about pursuing her, or I'm thinking about pursuing him. Do you think... you know me, and you kind of, maybe they know her or they know him. What are your thoughts? Is this would you, not that you need their blessing necessarily, but you see, if you value their wisdom and you've given them permission to speak into your life, what do you guys say? I would also say this, if you do believe you're ready, or this could be one way to measure whether or not you're ready, is do you have, this is too organized, but do you have a philosophy of dating? Do you have an end goal in dating? Is dating just a sport for you? Because it shouldn't be.
Right.
But do you understand what is the purpose and focus of dating? And as we engage dating in the Western culture, when I say dating, I don't know how the person who sent this question, I don't know exactly how you're defining it, but I'm talking about having special time with one another, dates, literal dates where you get to know one another better.
Yeah, preferably one person at a time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. So, but have a philosophy. Know what the end goal of dating is. Dating, if you're doing engaged dating, especially in a Christ-centered position, marriage is the end goal.
Right.
Ladies, if you're just looking for free meals, I'd say you're probably not ready for dating. Fellas, if you're just looking for companionship right now, or I don't even want to get into the other slang that you could label this with, but you're probably not in a position or ready to date. What are potential, or do you have some?
Well, I was going to say, on the flip side, there's so much pressure to date that it's like, I also want to just say, like, some people just need to go on a date. Like, some people just need to stop overthinking this and just go on a date.
No, I agree.
Okay. That contradicts pretty much everything we just said, but.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, if you have your priorities right.
Yes, absolutely.
Just go on a date.
Yeah.
Like, ask someone out.
Yeah.
Right? We are advocates for going on dates. So many of young adults, especially in like the Christian bubbles of life, are like so afraid to go on a date because they're not sure if they're going to marry the person, that they don't ever go on any date, and they're waiting for the clouds to part and God to write something in the sand of like the name of the person you're supposed to. And let me be honest, that's pretty rare. Okay. That did not happen necessarily in our case, but so we're kind of like, dude, go on a date, like ask someone out. What are can you think of some reasons as to why like you may not be ready?
The first thing I think of naturally is, a hard breakup. Just coming out of a hard breakup.
That was one thing that almost kept you from saying yes to my date, right?
It's true. Yeah.
Right? We were just talking about that last night.
Very true.
Yeah, hard breakups. Like maybe you're still healing from that. Maybe you're not completely over that. I would say give yourself space to mourn what needs to be mourned. And that may look different for all people. This seems silly, but I think time and money may be a reason that you're not ready to date.
Okay.
Hear me
what
out.
do you mean?
Dating takes time and it takes money.
It does. If you're
and
doing
so
it
like
a certain
if
way,
you're not ready to give up that time, or if you don't want to invest your money or time into those things, then don't date.
Right.
Right?
True. Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes, totally.
So if you're not willing to like give time and money to this, then maybe you're not ready to date.
Like you and I.
Yes.
I was crushing on him for pretty much all of college until he finally asked me out senior year. And he just kept saying to everyone, I'm not going to date. I just need to focus on.
Well, that's true because like I
true.
knew that dating would distract me from my current goal and purpose and like what I was trying to pursue beyond just like college and school. And so I was like, I would say I was fairly disciplined in that area during that chapter of my life where I was like, I have only a certain amount of time and money. And if I'm going to put this into anything, it's like what I want my end goal to be. And so it wasn't fair to even you or anyone else to like.
Sure. So I dated other people and
yeah.
And I've never thought about this until this very moment, but
let's talk about
I'm thinking, did you get to senior year and you're like, oh no, I'm graduating, should probably work out a wife. Maybe I will ask her out.
No, I don't think that was the case.
Okay.
I think by the time like we started dating, I had enough irons in the fire of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
That I was like, okay, this thing is kind of in motion and a dating relationship would not distract from that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it was just kind of, some of that was a practical sense.
Yeah.
Some of it was an attraction that I could not deny. And it's like, dude, you gotta engage this.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a timetable on it in that essence of like, what if we graduate and you never said anything to her?
Yeah.
Okay. This is not necessarily a maturity sense, but like maybe there are things happening in your near future, like maybe you're joining the military and you're shipping off and there's some practical things that you're like, I'm not really ready to date right now. There's other things I gotta do or I'm committed to. Yeah.
Career goals, schooling, jobs, those kinds of things, especially when you're a fresh little babe face right out of school or you're, whatever, whether you're right out of school or not. There are some things that maybe take priority and that's okay. You don't have to feel bad about that. I don't think you do.
So dating could take some things from us. It could take time. It could take money. It could call for vulnerability. It could call for kind of like, I guess it's the same as vulnerability, but really putting your heart out there. Like, are you willing? I'm not saying that you're going to be hurt, but are you ready to kind of like experience a little bit of hurt? If you are and you're willing, then maybe you would be ready. But in the meantime, also like, if you feel like you're not ready, or you are ready, but no one's asking you out, or you are ready, but you can't find anyone that you're wanting to ask out, this is what I would encourage someone. Instead of, we talk about this a lot too, instead of like consumed with trying to find the one, which is a whole nother podcast episode, probably someone texting that question. Instead of being consumed with like trying to find the one, why not spend that time preparing to become the one? Why not spend that time investing in your relationship with Christ to be the one?
Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of Asking for a Friend. We love the opportunity to dive deeper into these topics. And if you have any more questions on relationship or love or marriage or whatever it might be, we would love for you to send it in. So how do they do that?
Yeah, you could do that by DMing us at LCCHaven. You could email us, haven@lccredding.org, or you could text it in, area code 530-338-1237. And if you're new to Haven, the young adult ministry, this is a young adult ministry of Little Country Church in Redding, California. And it's our desire and aim to rally young adults to the Word of God, mission of Jesus, and to be filled and led by His Spirit. And then to release wherever God has sent us, that we might be able to rally others to the very same thing.